afternoon and welcome to Shawnee High School. Today is non-conference softball for your viewing pleasure. Today we have the Lima Central Catholic Thunderbirds and the homestanding Shawnee Lady Indians. Our presenting sponsor today is Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. Mark Shine, Dave Bowen here. Dave, let's talk about the Thunderbirds first. They're going to come in today's new contest 8-8, 5-2 in the conference.
Yeah, Mark, it's great to be your wingman today on this sun-splashed afternoon here at Shawnee Field. And you're right, LCC, they come in 8-8, 5-2 in the Northwest Conference, and they just beat Jefferson on Monday night to give Jefferson their first loss. Yeah, their record's 500. They've had some inconsistency, especially early in the season, but they're evening things out. They're finishing strong in season league play, and this is a great non-league contest tonight, and they're preparing for tournament.
Shawnee is also even on the season at 9-9, 2-4 in the Western Buckeye League. How about the Indians today?
You know, Coach Brian Wheeler's squad, again, that 500 record, still striving for that consistency. They have improved consistently as the year has progressed, but they've just had that one bad inning that they look at in particularly every game that they've lost where they've competed, but that one inning just things have fallen apart a little bit. They're looking for 7 innings of consistency.
Riley Rhodes is on the mound today for Shawnee, 6-3 on the season with a 4.03 ERA. Riley has pitched 73 innings, give up 107 hits. She has 33 walks on the season, but in those 73 innings, she struck out 103 batters. Opening hitter for the LCC Thunderbirds is Milena Badea. Milena hit 660 on the season, Dave.
Yes, I saw that on the stat sheet and found that hard to believe, 660, but then you look at her stats, 64 plate appearances. She leads her team in that category as well as 35 runs, 33 hits, 7 doubles, 5 triples, and 5 home runs.
Swings through that pitch quickly, 0-2. Our umpires today behind the plate is Daniel
Hunt,
thank you. Can't read my own writing. And Stephen McCrae is on the bases. Thank you, Dave. 0-2's the count on our leadoff hitter today. It's 72 degrees. That pitch is a ball. And it is a sun-splashed field, Dave, compared to the swamp conditions we've had the last couple of days.
Swamp conditions, and we've had the privilege to call a couple previous contests and had a little PTSD because it's been so cold in those other contests. When I started putting the lineup in, I was still shaking. But a beautiful night here.
Pitches out,
working it, yeah.
Outside at 2-2. There is a very slight breeze that blows out towards left center, but probably not much to affect the ball today. Unlike our last game when we were at Kenton when there was significant wind that day. It's 2-2, and now it's 3-2. So the count runs full after going 0-2.
Badea doing a great job of what you want your leadoff hitter to do is be patient, make the pitcher work, and find a way to get down to first.
And ball's grounded to the second baseman, Lily Daly. Lily throws it across the field, and we have an opening out.
Nice play by Daly at second to retire the speedy Badea, and that's one out in the inning. And again, nice job of pitching there by Riley Rhodes, not giving Badea anything too fat to hit.
The first baseman, Carolina Kill, will hit next, 304 on the season. She has 11 RBIs on the season. Sophia Hurley will be on deck, and that ball's grounded foul.
Kill, a contact hitter, only 3 strikeouts on the season. And you can see that it was been her job to move Badea along the base paths because Badea with that 660 average gets on a lot, obviously, but not in this situation.
1-1 is the count. Special shout out to the grounds crew here. We'll get to them in just a moment after this pitch. Ball's fouled away. The grounds crew here, Josh Ford and Brian Thompson, considering the 2+ inches of rain we've gotten in the last 3 days, have done a wonderful job of making this a playable field.
Yeah, it looks absolutely outstanding. Grass is green. The turf in the infield is in great shape.
There's a swinging strike. First strikeout of the game by Rhodes.
Rhodes bringing some heat, some nice velocity right away here in the top of the first.
And that will bring in the third baseman, Sophia Hurley. Pitch is wide. Sophia on the season, 446 on the season. She also has 20 RBIs. Hit one out of the park.
Yeah, those 20 runs batted in, that leads this squad. But in this situation, nobody on base, just trying to break the rhythm of Riley Rhodes. But Rhodes looking to have a clean top of the first in the circle.
1-1 is the count. Rhodes, ball's fouled away. 1-2 is the count. On deck hitters, the pitcher, Emma Skinner.
Hurley, second leading batting average, as you stated, 446. Second on this T-Bird squad.
Outside, we'll go to 2-2 on the third hitter of the inning.
Good plate discipline right there by Hurley. 2 strikes, doesn't chase that one on the outside edge.
And another strike, swinging strike 3. Got 2 of the last 3 hitters that way. So nothing opening inning for the LCC Thunderbirds. Back with the bottom of the first coming up. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. We're back at Shawnee. The bottom of the first coming up. Our scoreboard sponsor today is Elida Building and Contract. You can call Brian Wheeler. A commitment to quality and community. Elida Building and Contracting, 48 years of trust, 48 years of experience. And go to the mound comes the Emma Skinner for the LCC Thunderbirds. Emma is 8-7 on the season, 4.32 ERA. She's thrown 90.2 innings on the season. She's walked 32, and she struck out 122 batters in those 90-plus innings.
Does a nice job of attacking hitters, does Skinner. And again, she started with as this team did, fighting the uphill battle with 4 losses early in the season. But she's settled down. She's over the 500 mark now. And again, looking to put a consistent 7 innings together in the circle.
Michaela Browning will be the leadoff hitter for the Shawnee Indians. The first baseman hits .373 on the season. She scored 10 runs. She's knocked in 11 on the season. She'll be followed by Taylor Leasley and Anna Menke. Look how things set up defensively. Maria Pignataro will be behind the plate. Sophia Hurley at third. Milena Badea is the shortstop. Tegan Helming is at second. Carolina Kill is at first. And then left, center, and right, Emily Martin, Courtney Van Meter, and Zeta Oliphant.
Coach Shepard said this team defensively has been pretty consistent throughout the season. When they've struggled, it's been at the plate a little bit offensively. But, again, defensively, pretty good, just maybe a physical error in an inning and then a mental error on top of that, and their losses, that's been the challenge.
Left-handed hitter Michaela Browning will step in and face Emma Skinner. Pitch is high, ball 1.
Browning bats .373, one of the most improved players on this Shawnee squad this year.
1-1's the count. Sophia Hurley cheating in a little bit at third base, looking for a slap and run situation. Outside, it's 2-1.
Yeah, Browning doesn't show any of that slap action. She's very smooth, very quiet in the batter's box.
Pitch is down and away. It's 3-1.
Compared to a slapper who's attacking the softball when it's pitched. She's just nice and quiet in there, waiting for a ball in the strike zone.
That'll go full count with a pitch at the top of the zone.
Both leadoff hitters take the pitcher to the full count. See if Browning fares better than Badea did in the top of the frame.
Foul ball. Bit of a tardy swing on an inside pitch.
Yeah, way late, kept her hands back. Fortunate to fight that one off and make contact, because that was on the inner third. That'd have been a called third if she wouldn't have made contact or a strikeout if she was swung at it.
And that pitch is up, and we'll have an opening walk.
Good plate discipline by Browning to let that pitch, that rise ball go. The T-Birds not real successful with that in the top of the first. They chase that pitch up in the zone.
The .325 hitting third baseman, Taylor Leasley, will step in. 7 stolen bases on the season for Browning. There she goes. Here's a throw to second, and got in safe with a stolen base, her 8th of the season.
Leasty shows the bunt, gets the defense moving. Maria Pignataro, throw to second right there. She's been resilient back there behind the plate. Just a wall for Coach Shepard defensively, but not able to transfer that one and get it down to second in time to pick off Browning.
The opening pitch was a strike. It's 0-1, and now 1-1. Anna Menke is on deck, shortstop.
With Leasty batting .352, I think Coach Wheeler's going to let her hit, but you put a bunt down the first baseline, create pressure on the defense.
That's popped up. Is there room? Nope, but we got Jacob O'Neill ducking up here with his camera on top of the dugout.
Missed him by about that much. We'll call it 5 feet, but Jacob O'Neill does a great job for us.
And then smiled and gave us the thumbs up. How about that?
Excellent.
Always appreciate Jacob and all of our camera people at WOSN. They're the ones who tell the real story. It's 1-2 on Leasty. Ball's hit up in the air. And coming in, nope, the shortstop's going to make the play on it. Badea in short left field.
That keeps first out of the inning, keeps Browning at second base, so she's not able to move up on the play. And Badea, just got back into the grass a little bit and reeled that one in. Just too much air underneath it for Leasty to find some green.
And Amenke, 308 with 14 RBI on the season, takes a ball. Followed by the pitcher, Riley Rhodes, is today the 4-hitter for both teams will be the pitcher.
Menke, your shortstop, that's 308. Leader on this team, second team WBL from last year.
That pitch was inside, it's 2-0. Two and one is the count.
It's always solid when your shortstop brings the physical tools, but also brings leadership for the infield. And right now, looking to do it with the bat.
That ball's hit the left on one hop to the left fielder. Here's Martin's throw to third, and here's a throw home. It's not going to be in time. Chuck an RBI single up for Anna Menke.
Nice piece of hitting by Menke. Drives that one into left field. Emily Martin chooses to go to third and threw behind the runner, and Browning, third base, was just a pit stop on the way home. She covered the ground and scores the first run for the Lady Indians.
One out was Riley Rhodes will step in. Menke has stolen 5 bases on the season at first base. Showing bunt. Here's the steal attempt. Here's the throw to second, and she's in safely. So a pair of stolen bases here in the opening inning. Riley, 380 on the season with 16 RBIs.
Third team Western Buckeye League selection last year.
Foul ball.
And again, Coach Wheeler not looking to give away any outs right here. Letting his cleanup hitter do what you want a cleanup hitter to do. Take some solid swings and see if you can get yourself another RBI here.
0-2's the count. And got him swinging.
Nice pitch right there by Emma Skinner. Brings 3 right down the pipe to get the first out of the inning. Or second, I'm sorry.
Here's Lila Roses steps in, left-handed hitting left fielder. 349 on the season for her. She lifts that one, and that's going to be trouble. Diving effort by the center fielder, Courtney Van Meter. Here's a throw to second. Nope, and we're going to get an RBI. Chalked up for Rosas.
You're right. It was trouble from the get-go. Excellent hustle out there by Courtney Van Meter. Can't quite get to it. And then excellent base running by Rosas, and she ends up on second base. Give her a double.
And both times, Dave, the stolen base has set things up for the Shawnee Lady Indians. This will bring Addison Melson in, 211 hitter on the season. She'll take a ball. 9 RBI for her on the season.
Also a leader on this Lady Indian squad, looking to bring in another Shawnee runner out there at second.
That's high also. It's 2-0. Casey Carroll is on deck. Three and 0. Walk, stolen base, single. Stolen base, double. It's 2-0. That strike makes it 3-1.
Rosas Melson squared up there a little bit just to try and affect the sight line of Skinner, but she gets the strike.
And that'll be a walk, second of the inning. Puts runners on first and second for Casey Carroll, a 386 hitter with 11 RBI on the season.
And talking with Coach Wheeler, Casey Carroll, one of the most improved hitters on this squad. A great opportunity right here to find some green and continue the barrage of offense here in the bottom of the first.
That pitch is high. 1-0.
Skinner's bringing great velocity. She's popping Pignatero's glove.
That ball's hit down the right field line. Is it going to be fair? It is. That's going to get one in. She just kind of fisted one down the line, Dave, and gets an RBI out of that one.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there by Carroll. Fought that one off, and it just stayed a few inches inside the foul line. Give her the RBI, 3-0 Shawnee.
Nelson moved up to third, so the runners are on the corners for Addie Neff, the catcher today. 217 hitter for her on the season.
Look for Carroll to go to second here.
And she does. Pitch was called a strike. It's 0-1. Georgia Kloppel is on deck. 1-1.
Addie Neff, a 3-year starter for these Lady Indians.
Pitch is high also. 2-1. Isn't it great to have a catcher spend there 3 years? Somebody who understands the game, knows your opponents.
You can just go to another level with your pitching staff as a result.
That one's inside. It's 3-1. Popped up.
And not only will Addie be back next year for this Lady Indian squad, their whole starting lineup will be back. They do not start a senior.
Three and two, 2 outs. And she walked that batter. Third walk of the inning. And the bases are loaded for the designated player, Georgia Kloppel. She plays for the second baseman, Lily Daly.
Courtesy runner coming in for the Lady Indians. That's number 14, Amelia Hastings. In for Neff at first base.
So Hastings will be at first, running for the catcher, Neff.
Georgia Kloppel, she bats .533, only 15 plate appearances on the season. But what an opportunity right here to say, Coach, I need more ABs.
Skinner starts her off with a strike. She does have 6 RBIs on the season. Swings through that pitch, makes it 0-2.
And she has a great personality because we went over names with Georgia before the game, and she was so proud that we got her name correct.
Got it right.
Yeah.
That's a called strike 3. Out of the inning with a pair of strikeouts in the inning, but 3 runs across the plate for Shawnee. It'll be 3-0 Indians as we go to the top of the second. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. As we go to the top of the second inning here at Shawnee. On the Elida Building and Contracting scoreboard, the Lady Indians are up 3-0. LCC will send to the plate Emma Skinner, Courtney Van Meter, and Maria Pignataro. Skinner hits .373 on the season.
See if she can help herself a little bit because she's in the circle, as we know.
Swinging strike.
Good cut at it right there, right at the top of the strike zone. Now, again, what's interesting is to see and to watch is if Riley Rhodes just keeps working up right there. That one's low, but see if she starts working up the top of the strike zone like she did in the top of the first.
That ball slipped out of her hand, and it's now 1-1. Lead-off hitter here in the top of the second for the Thunderbirds. That's a strike, makes it 1-2.
Northwest Conference Western Buckeye League showdown.
And a swinging strike 3. That's 3 in a row have gone down by strikeout. All 3 swinging will bring Courtney Van Meter to the plate.
All 3 swinging and all 3 to the rise ball. Out of the strike zone.
You mentioned the Thunderbirds being in the Northwest Conference. I don't care what league it is. I'm glad they're in a league.
Absolutely.
Swinging strike on Van Meter. Kids need the opportunity to play for league championships. They need the opportunity to play for all league honors and those types of things, and develop rivalries, too, that you don't get in a lot of non-conference games. That's another swinging strike. Glad the Thunderbirds are in a conference.
As we know, they were in the Northwest Conference previously and then stepped away and then came back and
1-2.
Looked to make good on it.
14 in that area somewhere.
Absolutely.
It was the last year in the league. I had to swinging strike 3. That's 4 in a row she's put down.
Yeah, Riley.
This one was a different one, Dave. This was down low in the zone.
Yes, Riley Rhodes is cooking right now. We think it's toasty out here with the weather. She in that circle. She is making them pay, and it's all fire.
Here's Maria Pignataro. That pitch is down. Ball 1. That one is also, things hop up into the umpire, I think.
Yeah, it came off in front of the catcher.
Daniel Hunt.
And
yep.
Coach Brian Wheeler just making sure that Dan Hunt is okay and ready to roll. And he is, and we'll reset.
Addie Neff behind the plate today, and she swings at a pitch that was up in the zone. It's 2-1.
I think you have 2 things happening right here for the T-Birds. A, Riley Rhodes is humming, and secondly, they haven't faced this rise ball all season. They're really chasing it.
That was grounded off the pitcher. That's going to be a hit as it went off of Rhodes, and then Menke couldn't stop and get back in time to play it. So initial hit for the Thunderbirds will go to Maria Pignataro and bring in Tegan Helmig.
Yeah, that average of 446 for Pignataro, she did a nice job. That was at the top of the zone as well, but nice solid swing. Off the glove, and she's on first with 2 outs.
Pitch is a strike. Helming hits 152 on the season. Pignataro has stolen 3 bases on the season. Down 3-0. Pitch is down.
Coach Shepard said, you know, Tegan's batting average isn't the best in the world, but she finds a way to get on, and one of those ways is she has 13 base on balls. Said she makes some contact. She's reached on some airs. See if she can do it here.
Good thing that fence is there, Dave.
Absolutely. My right knee would have been in serious hurt right there.
1-2 is the count.
I'd have been asking for ice.
1-2 is the count. And got him looking this time. A called strike 3 becomes the 5th strikeout, and she struck out the side. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Indians. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. To the bottom of the second we go. We'll also go back to the top of the order. Michaela Browning, Taylor Leaksty, and Anna Menke as the Lady Indians put 9 hitters up in the opening inning.
Emma Skinner looking to have a quick inning after throwing a lot of pitches in the bottom of the first. As you said, she faced the entire 9 hitters for Shawnee. Michaela Browning steps into the batter's box with a different plan.
She has a walk and a stolen base. Here's a ground ball back to the pitcher, and it's a one-pitch inning or one-pitch out. That's a good thing.
That's a good start for Skinner right there.
Talked about how many pitches she threw in the opening inning. So one pitch, one out as she dribbled the ball back to Browning. Browning made the play.
And we know softball is different than baseball. You can go a lot longer and pitch consecutive days because you're going underarm, because that's the natural progression of the arm instead of going over the top.
At least he popped it up, and that will be a pop-up to the second baseman. She pops it up that time to Helming.
But again, with it being warm out here, basically the first time this season, and stamina can become an issue with any pitcher in either baseball or softball. Skinner working her way into a quick inning right now with 2 outs.
Last inning, Anna Menke had a single that drove in the opening run of the game, and then later on stole the base and scored herself. So officially 1 for 1 on the day. She takes a ball and a second ball. 2-0 is the count. Trying to get a 1-2-3 inning. That ball's grounded sharply to the third baseman, picked up by Hurley, and goes across the diamond. They got it out, and it was a 1-2-3 inning. Top of the third coming up. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. We're back at Shawnee. You can call Brian Wheeler at Elida Building and Contracting. Commitment to quality and community. Elida Building and Contracting, 48 years of trust, 48 years of experience. And Elida Building and Contracting is sponsoring our scoreboard today. To the top of the third we go. Olivia Venturella, the designated hitter, will foul the first pitch away that she sees from Riley Rhodes.
Yeah, Riley Rhodes just keeps peppering the strike zone here. See if the T-Birds, they had that 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the second defensively, if they can take that momentum here in the top of the third.
Pitches away, 1-1.
We talked about Shawnee not starting a senior, 6 juniors, 4 sophomores with the flex.
Swinging strike 2, it's 1-2. That high pitch has become tough to lay off of, and they're not making contact on it.
Correct. In LCC, they start 4 seniors, 3 juniors, 2 sophomores, and a freshman. So more balance with the T-Birds lineup. Venturella in there as a sophomore. But yeah, that rise ball, again, if you haven't seen it consistently or.
Ground ball is going to be hit to the first baseman. Picked up by Browning, who gets to the bag and records the out unassisted.
Or had the jugs machine set up in the batting cage for that rise ball, it can be really, really tough to lay off of, and we've seen that here in the early going with the T-Birds.
Here's Emily Martin. She's the left fielder. It's .353 on the season. Shows bunt. Takes a strike.
She offered at it right there. So Shawnee defensively, they kept Michaela Browning at first base. Taylor Leasty charges hard, and Riley Rhodes will need to come out of the circle as well.
That ball is fouled on the bunt attempt, 0-2. Badea will hit next. And you know with her batting average, you'd like to keep this batter, Martin, off base. And that is a swinging strike, and that is strikeout number 6. 5 of them in the swinging variety, and 1 of them called. We'll go back to Badea. She grounded out in the opening inning. Second baseman, Daly.
Badea has the numbers as we've shared, and she is also planning to continue her college or softball career at the collegiate level, going to the University of Chicago. Plays shortstop for the T-Birds. They sort of have her penciled in as a center fielder at the collegiate level.
That is a brainiac school, my man.
That's why I didn't get any letters.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Like 2 as she swings through that pitch. Yeah, that was not on my list of schools that were contacting me either. 0-2's the count. Bedea steps back in with that closed stance and took something off of that and fooled her and got strike three swinging. It's another good inning for Riley Rose. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's 3-0 Indians. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. To the top of the third we go. It'll be Riley Rose, Lila Rosas, and Addison Melson as the Indians come calling in the bottom of the third against Emma Skinner.
Batters 4, 5, and 6. Skinner going to have to go right through the meat of this Shawnee Lady Indians lineup, try and hold them at bay and get her team back in the dugout and get the bats out.
1-1's the count. After a shaky first inning, Emma Skinner came back, had a really good 1-2-3 inning in the the bottom of the second. See how she fares in this inning against 4, 5, and 6. That ball's hit to the third baseman. That's going to be a hit. Well, I'm going to call it hit. Let's see what the scoreboard flashes up, Dave. I thought that was a tough play at third.
Yeah, I believe that was a hit as well.
Well, the scoreboard never flashed anything, so we're going to go hit.
Yeah, right between Hurley and the bag. Hurley ticked it with her glove, but that's about all she did. And that's a solid single for Rhodes to start to the bottom of 3.
Rhodes has 13 stolen bases on the season, and she showed a bit of it there, but scampered back.
And that leads this Indian squad, those 13 stolen bases.
There's a steal attempt to throw down, and she's going to go in safely. So stolen bases have been a big part of the Indian attack today. Gets the 4th one, I think. Rosas, 2-0's the count. Foul ball.
She doubled her first time up. She leads this squad with 22 hits. Second behind Rhodes with 10 stolen bases. So if she gets on base and the next one's empty or an open, she'll probably look to run. But 22 hits.
2-1, now 3-1. .349 average. That RBI you mentioned was her 10th of the season. Foul ball. That will make it full count. Rosas Nelson's on deck. And it's down. So 4th walk of the game. We'll put runners on first and second for Addison Melson. She walked back in inning number 1. Was stranded at third base when the inning came to an end. .211 hitter on the season, but with 9 RBIs.
Skinner's going to have to bear down now. 2 on, nobody out. T-Birds looking to add, or excuse me, Shawnee looking to add.
Showed bunt, had the wheel play on.
Yep. Nicely done defensively by LCC with Bedea going over and covering third.
Also setting the second baseman Helming to cover first. You can see the third baseman Hurley's way in. This time she swings through it and going to be a pop foul. And if she had been playing a more normal position, might have caught that one. It was just over her glove. 1-1's the count.
Pressure offense gives Melson another opportunity here because you're right. If Hurley would have been playing regular depth, that'd be the first out of the inning for the T-Birds.
Fouls that one back. Bunt signs off. 1-2's the count. Casey Carroll's on deck. She had a single and RBI in the opening inning. They got him swinging. There's a play at third. In safe. Good base running opportunities.
Give Rhodes a stolen base right there. Delayed steal, waited until Pignataro threw the ball back to Skinner and then broke on the toss. And now we have runners on second and third with one out.
Third strikeout. Carroll steps in. Here's the bunt play. It's popped up. And what a good play by the catcher. Pignataro got over and grabbed that one in foul ground. Good hustle play by her.
Excellent hustle play. Slides on those shin guards. The other piece, execution-wise, is Skinner went and covered home plate in case, let's see, it's Rhodes down there at third. If she would have tagged up and tried to come home, they had that covered. Nicely done defensively by LCC.
Neth steps in. She walked in the opening inning, takes a ball. First pitch. Be big for Skinner to get out of this without giving up anything.
2 on, nobody out.
2-0. First base is open.
Yep, first base is open. You think about that a little bit with, again, the 3-year starter in Neth, the anchor of this team at the plate.
Took something off. That one makes it 2-1.
Yeah, nice job right there by Skinner coming with the changeup. Neth way out in front of it.
Three and one. Close pitch. Georgia Koppel is on deck. She struck out in the opening inning.
Yeah, Skinner right there asking her catcher, Maria Pignataro, to ask where that one missed.
Strike at the knees. We'll run it full.
Yep, that's full count right there.
Skinner thought maybe it was strike 3.
Yeah, so did Pignataro.
Yeah,
you could actually maybe set that up where you do that on purpose, see if the base runners start walking off.
Yeah.
But right there, they did. They thought that was the third strike. Got to throw another one.
Full count, and it's high. And for the second time, Addie Neth will walk. Becomes the 5th walk in the game, and we'll bring up Koppel. Here's our courtesy runner again, Dave, number 14. It's Amelia Hastings. And the bases are loaded.
Yeah, I know they pitched to Neth, but that's not a bad walk right here in this situation. No. You struck out Koppel her last at-bat, dominated her a little bit. Looking to do it again is Emma Skinner.
First pitch strike on the inside portion of the plate.
Koppel looking to get even.
And she swings to that pitch to make it 0-2. Skinner got ahead here, looking to get out of the inning without giving anything up. She struck out 3 today, including Koppel back in inning number 1.
Look to see if she brings a fastball again.
And she does, and overpowers them. Strikeout, gets out of the inning without giving up a run. So we'll go to the top of the 4th, and it's 3-0 Indians. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. To the 4th we go. Our presenting sponsor today is Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. And we start out with a ground ball that goes to the first baseman. Michaela Browning makes the play on the leadoff hitter, Carolina Kill.
1 pitch, 1 out for Riley Rhodes. And again, she has been very impressive here through 3 1/3 innings for Shawnee. Just a 3-0 game. For some reason, it feels like it's more than that, but it's LCC's right there. I think it feels that way because the 3 runs that Shawnee scored in the bottom of the first, and then also because of the dominant performance we're seeing from Riley Rhodes right now.
Sophia Hurley struck out back in inning number 1. Strike on the opening pitch to her in her second at-bat. And a second strike just overpowered him right there, Dave. The ball's on top of her before she get her bat around.
Exactly. The swing is good. It's just late. Just got to pick up the ball a little sooner.
Took something off that one, but left it way high.
Yeah, that's
1-2.
That's the second changeup we've seen Rhodes throw. She got Badea out with that pitch at the end of the 3rd inning.
Pitches inside, 2-2.
Change speed and change location. That'll get you a long way in high school softball, and Rhodes is putting on a clinic right now.
That ball's popped up, foul.
That foul ball heading over towards the JV game between Shawnee and Elida. And all the fans yelling to beware.
That ball's hit up in the gap. And it goes to the wall. Hurley in the second. Did she get there? She did.
Excellent hustle by Sophia Hurley to get that double right there. Great contact at the plate. Drives it to the fence. Good relay by Shawnee. Made the play close at second.
Time to get your roster out, Dave, because Coach Shepard's going to bring a runner in for Hurley. Looks like it is number 3 will be the runner for Hurley.
Number 3 is Belle Barrett, junior Belle Barrett, courtesy runner for Hurley.
Belle Barrett.
Well, actually pinch runner in this
situation.
Pinch runner,
yep, will run. And that will bring Emma Skinner to the plate. She struck out to start inning number 2 with her .373 average and 15 RBIs. She'd like to help her cause out right here with another. Strike on the outside part of the plate.
See how Riley Rhodes responds here in the top of the 4th. First runner to reach second on her in this game. Comes with a strike right down the middle of the plate on that first one.
That ball's lined to right. Going to take a bounce in front and get past the right fielder. That'll bring 1 run home in the form of Hurley. And into second. And we're going to get an RBI for Emma Skinner. Chalk that up as a double, Dave?
Yeah, let's go with the two-bagger.
Double, yep. And her 16th RBI, and Hurley has scored her 10th run of the year. And we're a little meeting at the mound. We're going to get another pinch runner, Dave. And in typical young lady fashion, her long hair covers up her numbers.
We see that in volleyball quite a bit, but let's see what we can do here.
Number 9, thanks to our umpire, Daniel Hunt, came over to tell us that the runner was going to be. In fact, that was Barrett that scored, not Hurley. So I forgot to look at the pinch runner.
That's Kira Kelly at second base now, a freshman for the T-Birds.
So see how Rhodes responds now, Dave. She was in control the whole way. She's given up back-to-back doubles and made the score 3-1 for Courtney Van Meter.
T-Birds have picked up their bat speed. Yeah, they're going to right field, but it's in play, and that's all that matters as they've picked up a run, and they're still batting here in the top of the 4th.
1 out. Van Meter steps in, a strikeout victim in the second inning. Here's a bunt that will go foul. Make it 0-2. That's a pretty good pitch to bunt, too. It was down. You'd like to get the head of the bat on top of the ball, but too much movement on it. She got underneath it.
Yeah, Van Meter would like to have that one back. Slapped her hands together. Just dropped the bat head a little bit before contact.
And swinging strike 3. For the second time, Courtney Van Meter goes down. 7th strikeout of the game, and came at a good time after a pair of back-to-back doubles. Scored a run. Here's Pignataro in. She singled in the second inning. Her first at-bat. That ball's fisted. That's going to be trouble. To the second base, there's the play, and it's going to be a hit. Here's a play at home, and safe. Great brace running by the freshman Kelly. Here's a throw to second, and safe again.
Nice job. Yeah, you put the ball in play. Good things happen. Put pressure on the defense. A single just over the first baseman's head for Pignataro, and the base runner, she did a great job of just continuing to run there and scores the second run for the T-Birds.
Makes it a 3-2 game as Tegan Helmig steps in. First pitch strike to Tegan. Struck out on a called third strike in inning number 2. That ended the inning. Pitch is down, 1-1.
Yeah, Kira Kelly did a great job of base running there. That ball didn't get in the grass, and she scored from second base.
Swinging strike. Let's throw some props to the coach, Coach Shepard, too, for getting a speedy pinch runner in at second base to get that run across.
And with the way Rhodes is pitching, just being aggressive, sending that runner from third.
It's a strike 3, but LCC gets on the board with a pair of runs. It'll be 3-2 Shawnee as we go to the bottom of the fourth. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. We go to the bottom of the fourth on the Elida Building and Contracting scoreboard. It's 3 for Shawnee Lady Indians and 2 for the LCC Thunderbirds. Mark Shine, Dave Bowen. Dave, while we got a moment here getting this inning started, let's send props out to both coaches. Okay, I talked with Brian Wheeler by text, obviously.
Yep.
And Coach, your stat page is short a couple of games. I'll take care of it. And he got it taken care of, so our stats were accurate. We talked with Coach Shepard by email yesterday. She got some stuff sent. We couldn't open it with our limited technological skills. She said, let me do it again, and she reset it.
Yep.
So we really appreciate coaches who get their information to us so we can talk about their girls.
It's just so helpful in every broadcast that we do, but especially in the spring with baseball and softball. You're trying to set your lineup, and get everything set in your scorebook. The more information we get beforehand, it's just that much more beneficial. And these two coaches, very appreciative that WOSN is here tonight, and we're excited to be here. We got ourselves a one-run game.
Michaela Browning will step in, take a first pitch ball from Emma Skinner.
Momentum clearly in the LCC T-Bird dugout. Look to see how Shawnee responds here in the bottom of 4.
With their leadoff hitter 1-2-3 up, they went down 1-2-3 in the second inning after having a big opening inning. That will make it 1-1 on the count. Browning has walked and scored, and she grounded out to the pitcher in inning number 2. Pitch is down, it's 2-1.
LCC with those 2 runs. No, they're not going to go away. They've got 2 big victories this year where they had to come from behind.
3-1.
Crestview being one, Kenton being another. And then again, that big win on Monday night over co-leader in the Northwest Conference, Delphus Jefferson. They're 3rd in the league are the T-Birds right now. LCC, they're 7th in the WBL, which is a very, very competitive league this year in softball.
3-2 on the opening hitter in inning number 4. That ball's hit down the left field line, and that's going to go to the wall. Here's Browning to second, and she's going to pull up there with an opening inning double.
That's a good way to neutralize the momentum that LCC has established. A leadoff double for Browning, and with nobody out, the Lady Indians looking to plate at least 1 here in the bottom of 4.
Here's Taylor Leasty. Taylor is 0 for 2 today. She's popped up to short, popped up to second. She steps in with Browning on second base. Pitches the ball. Of course, the tournament draw was this week. Lima Central Catholic will be in Division III, the Northwest 2, playing their districts at UNOH. And they will open up at Elida on May 15th. Swinging strike makes it 1-1. And the winners then also in that tournament on that same day, Bowling Green is at Wapak. And the winners will play on the 22nd at UNOH. In the first game of the district, that pitch is wild. And that's going to allow the runner to move up as it bounced off the catcher's glove. And will be a wild pitch and move the runner up to third with nobody out. Then the district finals are on the 24th at noon. The other half of that district is the number 1 seed Salina, and they will play the winner of Defiance and Lima Senior. That ball's grounded to third. Pick up, hold the runner. Here's the throw. And that's a really nice play by the third baseman, Sophia Hurley.
Excellent execution by Hurley. Fields it cleanly, takes a look at Browning, freezes her, and then throws to Carolina Kill at first. 1 out in the inning as the T-Birds try to get Browning in a situation where they strand her at third. But Anna Menke's going to look to make that be a different situation here for Shawnee.
Menke takes a strike. She's 1 for 2 on the day. She had a single, knocked in a run, and then stole a base and scored a run. Good day going for Anna Menke. That ball's fouled back. It's 0-2. Lima Central Catholic, they're in Division 7. They're in the Northwest District 5 that plays at Elida. They will have a home game. They will play on the 14th here against Pandora Gilboa. The next day, Kalida will play USV, and the winners then will end up playing on the 21st. That's at Elida. Pitches up and away, 1-2. And then the district finals for Lima Central Catholic, also at Elida, will be at on the 23rd of May. Foul ball. And to complete that, the other side of the bracket is the number 1 seed, Waynesfield, and they will play the winner of Corey Rawson and Ottoville.
Congratulations to the T-Birds. They earned that 2 seed in the Elida district.
1-2 is the count. Foul ball again. Hanging in there at a 1-2 count is Anna Menke with Riley Rhodes on deck.
The battle within the battle. Skinner versus Menke here. Neither one wanting to give an inch. See if Skinner gets her to chase something out of the strike zone.
And she swings at a pitch that was down, took something off. Here's the throw to first, and got him.
Pignataro a little hesitant right there. Wanted to make sure Browning wasn't looking to come from third and score on that strikeout. Makes it a closer play at first, but they still execute it. Nice job by Pignataro.
And a good play by Kill to go up and get the ball and keep her foot on the bag as Riley Rhodes steps in. 2 outs in the inning. Ball's grounded hard, foul. 4th strikeout of the game. Came at a really good time for Emma Skinner.
Riley Rhodes, arguably the best offensive player on this squad, has improved tremendously as a sophomore.
380 hitter. Pops that one up and back over our head. Makes it 0-2.
16 runs scored, 16 RBIs. We talked about that earlier. 8 doubles, 3 home runs. Skinner's got to weave her way through this at-bat with Rhodes at the plate.
Puts down, not much room at the backstop. Here comes the runner from third, and she's in there. The wild pitch will allow Browning to score from third and make it 4-2. She moved up on a couple of wild pitches.
Just a tough one for Pignataro to reel in right there. Skinner'd like to have that pitch back.
1-2. And got him swinging. So back-to-back strikeouts, but not before the Indians were able to put another number on the board. It's now 4-2 as we go to the 5th. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. Today's softball game is presented by Charles River in Spencerville. Proud supporter of area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. The top of the 5th we go. It's 4-2. And the opening hitter is Venturella. She takes a strike. Grounded out to the first baseman unassisted. Her only plate appearance, 1-1. Emily Martin. And Milena Badea in the 5th inning for LCC. Ground ball at third. Here's the pickup by Lichty, and she throws it across, and Lichty gets an out. Good play at first base by Michaela Browning.
Yeah, nice job there. You've got sophomores on the corners for Shawnee and Lichty and Browning, and they both did a nice job right there. Lichty fielding the softball, and then Browning digging it out of the dirt for the first out of the inning.
The 353 hitting Emily Martin will step in. She struck out swinging in inning number 2. 1 of 9 strikeouts today. That pitch is in the dirt. 1 of 9 strikeouts today for Riley Rhodes.
1 out in the inning, as we said, the hot corner to the cold corner. 3rd to 1st.
This game is just over an hour old. 61 minutes. Swinging strike. That's a good pitch. 1-1. Rhodes looks in, and that's a high strike. She's had a lot of those today, Dave.
She really has. Again, that rise ball, top of the zone, and then she gets you to chase it up out of the strike zone, and you're upset with yourself as a hitter, but you got to be aggressive in there as well. Too tough to take.
Swinging strike 3. So for the second time in the game, Riley Rhodes is able to get Emily Martin, and that becomes her 10th strikeout. And as I very quickly look through things, she has not walked a batter today.
Has not walked a batter, 10 strikeouts. Is that a good ratio?
That's pretty good, I would think.
And the other thing that's really good if you're a Shawnee fan is Milena Badea is at the plate with nobody on.
That's correct, with 2 outs. And she swings on that strike. Badea, 0 for 2 today, ground out, strikeout.
You talked about postseason awards. Milena Badea is going to be recognized by the Northwest Conference. Leads her team with 33 hits, 7 doubles, 5 triples, 5 home runs, 10 stolen bases, 35 runs scored. And as we said, that Herculean batting average of .660.
Foul ball.
0 for 2 here. Yep. Rhodes has got to be really pleased with how she's handled Badea today, but
and all 3 times she's faced her, nobody on base.
Yes.
I mean, how about that? That's a good thing for her, too. 1-2 is the count here at the top of the 5th. Tried to get a changeup and chase it, but outside she does not. It's 2-2.
Got her on that changeup in her last at-bat for the 3rd strike. Tried to do it there again.
That pitch is down, runs the count full.
As a fan, I'd like to see Badea get on and see what she does on the base paths. That's the fan in me, not the broadcaster.
Ground ball at 3rd. Leasty with the pickup, throw it across, and they got him. Goes to Browning. For the 3rd time, they get Milena Badea and another 1-2-3 inning. 4-2 Shawnee as we go to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. To the bottom of the 5th we go on the Elida Building and Contracting scoreboard. 4-2 Shawnee, and they will send up number 15, Roses, and she will start the inning out with a slapping one with some smoke to it. Down the left field line, and she's headed to second. Here's the throw. And thanks to the error, she gets into second base.
Nice piece of hitting by Rosas right there. The pitch was up in the strike zone, kept her hands back and just went with it and drove it between short and 3rd. Gets the single and then picks up the extra base on our first error of the game.
It has been a cleanly played game, but it does put Rosas in scoring position. She scored in the 1st inning after hitting a double, and that will bring Melson to the plate. Walking the strikeout for her today. That ball's popped up on the infield, and it's going to fall. Kind of one of those right in the middle of nowhere. Ends up being a hit.
Melson does a nice job again of finding some space there for Shawnee in the sense that you're right. The triangle between 1st, 2nd, and the pitcher, Mark, and she found the dirt right there and was able to beat it out for an infield single.
I think we're going to get a pinch hitter, Dave. Number 30 has stepped in for Shawnee, or is she going to run? No, she's going to go into the plate.
That is Alex Carapondo. And Alex Carapondo is the only senior on this Shawnee squad. She has been a great teammate. She's persevered through 2 shoulder surgeries, brings a lot of energy, and Coach Wheeler just couldn't say enough things about Alex and what she brings to the squad that has nothing to do with the game itself, but she has an opportunity to affect it right now as she steps in the batter's box for the Indians.
Takes a ball in the first pitch. Swinging strike. That's a foul ball that's caught. It's 1-1. And strike 2. 1-2 is the count on Carapondo.
Yeah, she's not getting cheated in there.
No.
Really good swing. Nice L with the back leg. Just failed to make contact.
Pitches inside. That'll make the count 2-2. Addie Neth's on deck. Addie's walked twice today.
Skinner realizing she needs this out. 2 on, nobody out.
And that's a called strike 3. Good pitch that time from Skinner. Becomes strikeout number 7 for her. Here comes Addie Neff. Walked both times she has batted today.
Very impressed with this Shawnee squad for being 500. They were 7-18 last year.
Popped up. Infield fly rule. And that's caught by the first baseman. So that becomes out number 2. I really like umpiring who lets you know what's going on. And our home plate umpire, Daniel Hunt, immediately told everybody in the vicinity that that was the infield fly rule.
Eliminates confusion. And as you said, immediately Mr. Hunt made that call. So everybody in the field, both base runners and defenders, know that that is an out. Now, base runners can still advance on their own peril, but they'd have to tag. They can't advance until that ball is caught.
Here's Amelia Hastings. She has been a pinch runner today, and she will now hit for Kloppel. She swings through the first pitch. Skinner trying to get out of this without giving up any more damage as her team trails 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Second strike. That was a really good pitch. Inside corner to knees.
Yeah, Skinner right now, as we say, on the mound, bowing her back right here, coming through with nothing but heat.
And got him swinging. So the first 2 runners get on, and Skinner comes back to get the final 3 outs of the inning. We'll go to the top of the 6th. It's 4-2 Indians. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. Our scoreboard today is brought to you by Elida Building and Contracting. Call Brian Wheeler. A commitment to quality and community. Elida Building and Contracting. 48 years of trust, 48 years of experience. And that scoreboard shows 4 for the Shawnee Lady Indians and 2 for the Lima Central Catholic Thunderbirds. As Carolina Kill will step in the 6th and takes the ball.
Both of these teams, Mark, we talked about again when they have struggled. They've had one bad inning. Haven't seen that tonight. Both teams battling, both pitchers getting after it.
Grounded ball back to Rhodes. That was hit off the plate. Rhodes made the play on it. Opening out, 1-3.
And I'll take a 4-2 over a 13-10 or any day of the week and twice on Sunday. It's just really good softball, and that's what we've been privy to thus far in this one.
Sophia Hurley will step in. Sophia has a double. She was replaced by Barrett, who scored then on the upcoming pitch. About 3 or 4 years ago, I did Lincoln View, St. Henry baseball district final. 1-0 Lincoln View in 11 innings. Ground ball. That's going to be picked up by the first baseman. The play by Browning. That goes 3 unassisted. I got home and my son-in-law says 1-0, 11 innings. Must have been boring. Son, that was the best baseball game that I telecast.
There's just something about it, the grit, the determination, the fight you have to bring to every pitch when it's a white knuckler.
2 outs in the inning. That will bring Emma Skinner to the plate. She drove in a run for the Thunderbirds.
And this one at 4-2 is not far from that. Both teams battling. It's been an excellent exhibition of high school softball. These girls getting after it. The coaches making strategic moves throughout.
That might have had the most velocity of a pitch she's thrown in the last several innings. She had something on that one.
Yeah, Riley Rhodes and Emma Skinner, they act like they know each other, and there's a lot of pride for both of them in the circle.
Foul ball.
And right here, they're going at each other, one in the circle and one in the batter's box. Pitcher versus pitcher.
Strikeout and a double today for Emma Skinner and her .373 average. Took something off that one. That's going to be slapped to the second baseman. The play is going to be made by Daly, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. Well, Dave, we're back at Shawnee. I know you've been on the Three Wise Men podcast before. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday, Nate Garlock. Each week they break down local football matchups, talk Buckeye football, and discuss sports throughout Ohio.
This week they had Boog Wilson on from
Lima Senior.
Yeah, Lima Senior. Really good interview. enjoyed listening and watching it as well.
For the fourth time today, Michaela Browning will lead an inning off. Skinner's first pitch is a ball. Browning has walked, grounded out to the pitcher, and doubled today. Scored 2 runs. Her speed on the base pass has been obvious today, Dave.
It sure has, and again, she has led off 4 of our 6 innings thus far, and Coach Wheeler's got to be real pleased with having that
foul
show
ball
itself. And, you know, those are the anomalies that when you go to watch a ball game, you're always looking, what's going to be unique about this one? And I think you got a couple things. You have Shawnee starting with the leadoff hitter in 4 of the 6 innings.
2-1. Grounded to third. Here's a pickup at third base by Hurley. And the throw pulls him off the bag.
Hurley knew she had to get that one over there quickly. Couldn't really get her feet set. All arm, and then ended up going in the dirt. Kill unable to reel it in. Browning leads off. She's on first base again.
What was that word you said? Amelie?
Did I say
anomaly?
Anomaly.
Oh, yeah.
Anomaly, yes.
Big word. I'm impressed.
Well, hopefully I used it correctly.
Pitches outside.
Because we talk about that, starting 4 innings with your leadoff hitter. The other thing is, as you look at the strikeouts for both of these pitchers, there's only 1 inning. Again, we have a lot of strikeouts.
Pitches down and goes to the backstop. 2-0.
As we see Browning go to second. 10 strikeouts for Rhodes and 8 for Skinner. Only 1 inning has 1 strikeout. When they've had strikeouts, it's been multiples.
That ball's hit between short and third. And because of where the ball is hit, Browning has to hold up at second base. So we'll have runners on first and second for Menke to step in.
I like Browning's decision there. You want to be aggressive, but that was just a real smart play because that was a short single to left, and she would have been thrown out going to third.
It's a strike. I always feel, Dave, if you're ahead and you score in the bottom of the 6th, that just kind of takes the wind out of the other team's sails when they come up to hit in the 7th. So let's see if that ball's hit. Foul.
Hurley seeing some action down here in the bottom of the 6th, and Emma Skinner still has velocity, but maybe off just a little bit, and Shawnee's catching up with it here in this bottom of the 6th inning.
0-2's the count. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Changeup is high.
Skinner had 2 strikeouts in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the 5th.
Foul ball. One and two's the count. Anna Menke.
She's looking to blow this open a little bit with 2 runners on base, find solid contact.
Pitch is high, 2-2. Good job by Pignataro to get up and get that one. 2-2. Browning has already scored 2 of the 4 runs today by the Lady Indians. Ball's golfed up in the air, and good running effort, but unable to track it down as the center fielder Van Meter, and that's going to plate a pair of runs.
Actually, I think just one run scored there because they had to wait to see if it was going to be caught, but Browning does score.
Browning does score.
And Menke, she drives that one all the way to the fence. Van Meter, as you said, great effort. That was a changeup right there that Menke hit out to center field. And that is one of the longest singles you'll ever see in high school softball.
Menke's second RBI of the day. Scored Browning for the 3rd time. Makes it 5-2. That's a strike.
They're going to get
a play
at
third, and they do. So that's Leasty gets thrown out.
It's 2-1
There
to
you
5 in your scorebook.
2-1-5, correct.
Tried to go with the delayed steal, but right away the LCC bench, as Pignataro threw the ball back to Skinner, yelled for Emma to look to third. She does. Hurley puts the tag on.
First out of the inning. That ball's roped into left. And a little bit of a wild throw. What's going to happen at the play? And both runners are able to move up on the single by Rhodes. And then a throwing area allowed both runners to move up to second and third.
Again, Coach Shepard's going to bring him to the circle, and she said sometimes we just have that one inning where we make a physical error, then we make a mental error, and it just compounds itself. And I'm sure that's the theme here. Ladies, let's just stay focused, let that go, stay in the now.
It is 5-2 now. The runners will be in the form of Anna Menke at third. Riley Rhodes will be on second as Rosa steps in. She has doubled today and walked and then had another hit. So she is officially 2 for 2 on the game today. Has driven in a run, scored a run. We're pleased to announce a new pricing for the WSN streaming service for only $8 per month. You can watch WSN from anywhere at any time. Sign up today at app.wsn.tv. Also available on Roku and on Apple TV. As the left-handed hitting Rosa steps in. Perfect day going for her. Pitches inside.
I really like that decision by Coach Shepard to go out and have a talk with her infield. Just refocus here. They have played really well in this contest up to this point.
That ball's hit to left and tracked down by the left fielder Martin, and that's going to play the run on the sac fly. So Rosas will get a sac fly to the left fielder. Driving in her second run of the day. Menke will be the person who scored, and on the throw, Rhodes moves up a base.
Good execution offensively with the sacrifice fly and the run scored. Defensively, good catch out in left field by Martin, but she's got to put the ball on the line towards home so her team can cut it off.
That ball's hit the left as well. That's going to fall. That's going to drive in a run for Melson. She brings Rhodes in. Melson gets her first RBI of the day with her second hit. And the game has gotten to be 7-2. So big inning right here for the Shawnee Lady Indians.
Going through the lineup for the fourth time here. The Lady Indians, they have Skinner timed down here in the bottom of the sixth. 3 runs thus far. And yeah, as you said, when you can put some runs on in the bottom of the sixth, it can really make it tough for your opponent in the top, and that's what Shawnee is successfully doing right now.
Here's Casey Carroll to hit. Runner on second base. Casey's 1 for 2 today. Takes a strike. Tough to hit right now, you would think too, Dave. The sun might be in your eyes, you would think, but they've done a nice job this inning. That pitch is high. 1-1.
Well, definitely for Carroll here in the left-handed batter's box as well. She has somewhat of the same perspective that we do here.
Of course, the Shawnee football field, one of the few that go east-west here. Football fields typically go north-south. That ball's hit up the middle, and that's going to drive in a run. And here's the play at the plate, and she slides in safely. Melson with the wheels on that time, and she will score on the hit by Carroll as Carroll drives in her second run of the day, and it's 8-2. Broken it open with Neth coming to plate.
Yeah, Courtney Van Meter, again, a solid single up the middle. Again, you want to help your team, so you're thinking, I can get it to home before that runner gets there. No chance there. She needed to hit her cutoff and just get that ball into second to keep Carroll at first.
Because that allowed Carroll to move up on the throw as we get a ball to Neth.
Yeah, Melson and Carroll just traded places, and that's what Neth would like to do right now. And put another plate across for the Lady Indians. Put another run across the plate.
Foul
Get
ball.
that right.
1-2. Skinner back to the plate. That ball's foul. Still 1-2.
Skinner continues to battle out there in the circle. I think just what's happened here in the 6th inning, she hasn't been able to paint the black as much as she did in the first 5 innings.
Ball's grounded, hit to third, and that's going to go through the third baseman. Throw across is not going to be in time. Good effort, though, by Badea. But that will be an error on the third baseman, and will allow the runner to move up to third. The runner's on the corners now.
Hurley'd like to have that one back, and then Badea, she'd like to have that throw back right away after she threw it. She knew she allowed the runner on second to take another base.
This is Hastings to hit. She also came in to hit back in inning number 5. She's up again for the second time here in the 6th. Foul ball. By 2. It's been a 4-run inning for the Shawnee Lady Indians.
Yeah, most runs they've scored in an inning, they've put up a crooked number here in the bottom of the 6th.
That ball's grounded to shortstop. Badea gets it, throws it across the diamond, and they got out of the inning. But 9 players come to the plate. 4 of them score, and we will go to the top of the 7th for Shawnee on top, 8-2. You're watching high school softball on WOSN. To the top of the 7th we go. Delighted Building and Contracting scoreboard. It's 8-2 in favor of the Shawnee Indians.
Riley Rhodes has had an outstanding game, but LCC, your mindset right now is just peck away. We've got to get 1 runner on at a time.
Courtney Van Meter swings through that pitch.
And see what we can do. They have battled in the batter's box all night long.
That's a ball.
Rhodes has just been really, really tough in the circle.
2-1's the count on Van Meter. She has been 2 of the 10 strikeouts today. Pitch is high, 3-1. And that pitch is low. And as we go to the 7th, Dave, that is the first walk today for Riley Rhodes.
She has been around the plate all night long. But yeah, the tying run is somewhere over by I-75, but you got to start somewhere, and a leadoff walk.
Pignataro takes the ball.
Yep, bodes well for LCC here in the top of the 7th. Just trying to change that momentum, and you just peck away, peck away.
Maria's 2 for 2 today. Pair of singles, drove in a run. That ball's hit up in the air and will go to the shortstop. Tried to get a play at first by Menke, but unable to do so. First out's a pop up to the shortstop. That'll bring up Tegan Helmig.
Helming hasn't been able to solve the equation that is Riley Rhodes tonight. She struck out both times she has faced her.
But ball's hit foul off the fist. It was 72 degrees when this game started. We're not much under that right now, Dave. You can see as the sun starts to settle, it's cooled off a bit, but a very nice night for softball.
Just a beautiful May evening.
Pitch is down, 1-1's the count. Ball's hit off the fist and caught by the first baseman. Nice play by Browning.
Yeah, Browning comes off of that base quickly, snags that one for the second out of the inning.
Second out of the inning, and it will be up to Olivia Venturella. Olivia today is 0 for 2. Pair of ground outs. And she swings through the first pitch. 0-1's the count. Pitch was inside, 1-1. There's a nice crowd here tonight, Dave. I don't know if it's because they want to watch softball, because they want to get out of the house in the nice weather.
Get out of the house, catch some rays, as we said at the beginning of the telecast. A sun-splashed afternoon.
Ball was fouled away. The count's 1-2. Trying to get to Emily Martin.
And this softball game has been a much more closer game than what it appears the final score is going to indicate.
2-2 on the pitch to low. Riley Rhodes trying to close it out. Ball's popped up in the air, and Browning made a great effort for it and was unable to secure the ball, but great play over there by her.
Michaela Browning comes in, gives it her all, sacrifices for the team to get that third out. 6-run lead, who cares? She gave it her all, but just hit off her glove.
Came up with a big smile on her face. I think she thought she was going to get that one. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. And strike 3. That will be the 11th strikeout of the game. And what a game pitched today by Riley Rhodes, Dave. A 4-hitter. She gave up 2 runs. And left 3 runners on base today. And pitched a 4-hitter to go to 6-4 on the season.
Yeah, Riley Rhodes was outstanding in the circle for these Lady Indians. And she gave up 2 runs in the 4th inning. And LCC earned those, but it didn't faze her. She did not give a base runner after that 4th inning to reach until she walked Van Meter for her first base on ball in the game in the top of the 7th. But she was outstanding. She painted the corners, mixed in her changeup, and it was very, very tough on these LCC hitters.
Emma Skinner will drop to 8-8 on the season. She gave up 8 runs today, 12 hits. She has stranded 10 players, but her team committed 4 errors behind her today, and it was a close game until we got to the 6th.
Yeah, you could bookend this one. LCC gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st to Shawnee, and then they gave up 4 in the bottom of the 6th. In between, they were really, really good, and just that 1 inning. Shawnee earned it in the bottom of the 1st. The 6th inning, LCC had 3 errors, and it's what Coach Shepard talked about. We've struggled at times with just putting a complete game together, and you can see they have the ability to do that, Mark. They can put those 7 innings together, and as they get ready for tournament, that's what they're going to need to do. But they give up those 4 in the 6th to put it out of reach. And, again, they'll come back from this and be ready for tournament action.
It was a 92-minute game today. The Thunderbirds will drop to 8-9 on the season. Shawnee will improve to 10-9 on the season. And we want to thank our sponsors today. That would be Elida Building and Contracting, along with Charles River. Thank the athletic director here, Mr. Steve Owen, got everything going. Jacob O'Neill was up on the dugout today doing his camera work. Jonathan Young was out in center field. Jacob will take this back to the station, edit it all together for your viewing pleasure. Thank the athletic director, Mr. Steve Owen, as well. It's been a good win today for the Shawnee Indians as they will go with an 8-2 victory over the Lima Central Catholic Thunderbirds. You've been watching high school softball on WOSN.